This is a constitution which guarantees freedom of belief as absolute, whereas the constitution passed when you were a government said it was just protected. Similarly, the position of women, according to many critics of your regime, is much better. Let me put you what the National Council of Women said of your year in office: the worst and most cruel for Egyptian women.
I'll tell you that this constitution was written with the blood of the revolutionaries and bear weapons with the handcuffs of the martyrs. During the first day of this referendum, 12 of the Egyptian youth were shot dead with live ammunition in the first day, and other 2 were killed in the second day. You can see a lot of photos in the social media.
That is not answering the question I've just put to you. What about the status of women?
It's not about, I believe that even if we have to revert back to the people of Egypt with a democratic process that gives them the freedom of expression. If they see any kind of items that need to be changed in the Constitution of 2012, there is a democratic process in order to do this. You cannot have a referendum or a constitution referendum over the tanks and the weapons of the police army.
You've made that point. We're going to come to the army. We're going to come to the army, if I may, Mr. Hamid. Let me ask you very specifically.
Definitely.
We are going to come to that. May I ask you about the constitution that has now been approved?
Yes.
And the comparison with the situation that existed when you were in government for that period of a year. No. As I said, the National Council for Women in Egypt has described your year as the most cruel for Egyptian women. Among the quotes from them, the ending of the quota for women MPs, which meant the number of MPs who were women went down from 12% to just 2% between the 2 elections, 2012-2010. And Soad Shalabi, who speaks for the organisation, said of your government back in March of last year when it was still in office, they're trying to make us lose whatever gains we got from the revolution.
Actually, this proves how democratic we were. To find a state-owned entity or body criticizing the Constitution is something for our favor. And believe me, I wouldn't challenge you if I say that we had got some items that need to be changed, some items to be reviewed in the Constitution of 2012, and I can give you tens of other examples in this Constitution that is anti-freedom, and I believe the Constitution is not only words, by the practice as well on the ground. I can give you that this Constitution really enforces the military,
as did your Constitution. It required, under the terms of your Constitution, for example, that the Defence Minister had to be a member of the Armed Forces. That's the case in this Constitution. Yours was no different. Isn't the point here, though, that there is a process underway? We have had the Constitution drafted, we have had a referendum, we are told there will be elections within 6 months for President and Assembly. We don't know which order yet. Surely you should be saying, OK, there's a process. We will encourage our supporters to engage with it. We won't trash it. We'll get involved.
Definitely. This is the whole scenario that the coup d'etat regime wants us to be in. But I give you the other version of the story, that we have an elected president, and this is the first elected president since 7,000 years of Egypt. He has been imprisoned. He has been captivated. He has been held in unknown place for 5 months till he has been released along with his presidential team. And we have a democratic process that people in Egypt, after the 25th of January revolution, came out and called for freedom and social justice and liberty.